Hello everyone, welcome to Redbus US channel. We just got an announcement from DHS that the H1B 2027 cap is reached and there won't be any second round lottery. So it's very short alert that has come up. So in this video, what we look at is basically some of the background, what numbers looked like in the past and what are the information about data, how many registrations came and all of this, because they published a Facebook post in the middle, that's what created some information, at least we got that. And we look at also, how the whole thing looks like and what it means for you if you're an applicant and what is your next steps and what are the things that you can see. If you want to subscribe to our channel, do subscribe for getting regular updates. So this is the USCIS News Alert. You can see it's one of the shortest news alert I've seen. It says is USCIS has received enough petitions to reach congressionally mandated 65,000 H1B visa regular cap and the 20,000 H1B visa advanced cap exemption known as master's cap. That's it. So in the past, we used to get a lengthier thing. So this is the shortest that I've seen. And so essentially, all they're telling is the cap is reached and, they won't do any second round lottery. It's implicit. In the past, they used to tell that. But again, basically, it just means that there won't be any second round lottery. And the filing window for this was already done. It was opened from April 1st until, June 30th. So that's when this happened, right? So there won't be second round lottery. If you are somebody who's hoping that a second round lottery would happen, it's pretty clear that there won't be second round lottery. And because they did announce that they've raised enough petitions. So now, if your employer checks, they would usually see something called not selected. It may show submitted and then it gets changed. So eventually everything will say not selected. That's what will happen. So in fact, they did not even run a second round lottery for last year as well. So it's probably, similar thing because usually the second round lottery happens when there is a lot of fraud involved and people have a lot of fake fake registrations that were done. With all these new changes that have come in fact, that is not happening. That is the big message that we are getting from this, right? And in fact, this is the first year, right, where we have this new weighted based lottery where where you get every registrant gets based on his wage level. If it's level one chance, level two chances, and this is all first time they're doing. So essentially, overall, this is a first year where they tried something new and we look at the numbers actually, right, what we got from the Facebook post. But the whole idea is this year, because of this new thing, so many people probably dropped out or they couldn't get other things and all of that, right? So this is the first year they did that. So what you're seeing on the screen is the actual screenshot from the USCIS website where they usually publish numbers. So if you see this year as highlighted in this red box, they have not given any information as such. If you see the last year, they've given all this analysis, but as of now recording, we don't have this out yet. And also you can see the table is not updated. This table is from last year. There is no 2027 data listed here as well. So, but what they did was they actually on May 21st, they announced, basically they published a Facebook post where they did talk about three different numbers. And they said 71.5% of selected beneficiaries hold a US master's degree, up from 57%. So that's what they said. So it means that more master's applicants were selected. And second one they said was only 17.7 selected were in lowest category. So this is the wage levels thing that they really did. And this year they said that after this change, only 17%. So rest of them are wage level 2 or higher. That's what they intend to say. And the other one, they said the big number is there's a 38% drop in the registrations, 343K last year, 981 to 211K 600. So this is the three numbers that we got from the past. This is nothing new that has come up today, but the only number we have, you see, the realistic number is this 211K 600. And in the big scheme of picture, in the big scheme of numbers, how this whole thing you can see, right? You can see the graph where the trend is clear. That this actually graph is from 2021 when the registration started until now. You can see the peak of in basically FY 2024 where we had about 780,000 registrations that were submitted. There was extreme amount of fraud and all of that. And in that year, you could see there was basically 408,000 fraud. Basically multiple registrations. So this was the reason they moved from this. They basically moved to passport-driven one, where an applicant will only get one chance irrespective of that. So then significantly dropped, and then further, if you see now, it's further come down. So we don't have any data exactly how they really select, how many they really selected. So they probably selected around this, around 110, 120. We don't know exact numbers because they may update later, but as of now, This is what we have. All we know is it was a 38% drop in the number of H1B registrations, and about 211,000 were is what was selected. Now that we know numbers, right? So what it means if you're an applicant, if you were selected, well and good, your employer should have filed a form I-129 and got the H1B either approved or at least in process, because the window ended technically, right? So you can't really apply. So if they did not apply, then you're basically lost, and you cannot start working before October 1st. So you'll have to wait until that. And if you're not selected, unfortunately, you're out of chances. There is no second round lottery, and so you are lost this opportunity for this year. So you have to look at your OPT, STEM OPT, what you can do, and you should look at other options. Either leaving the country or doing other things. Again, there is a lot of changes regarding again continuing at the degree, because there is a new thing that came up last night. Yesterday, where we did a video. You can look at that, or you can look at the H1B cabs exempt route. So you can look at that video where the whole the duration of status thing is ending and all of that, right? Again, if your OPT is going to expire before March 27, talk to an attorney and see if you can apply for the next year, so that you're ready for that, and apply for STEM OPT, all of these things. So that's what it looks like. So in short, USA has reached H1B cap for FY 2027. They announced just now, about a couple hours ago, and there is no second round lottery being run. So registrations, basically they would either say submitted or they will just say not selected. That's what they'll show up. And this is the first year of weighted selections where they had 1 to 4, and there is no official numbers as of now. Maybe they may update in the future. All we know is there was a Facebook post that said there were about 211,600 registrations that came in. That's a drop of about 38.5%, and about 71% of them were master's degrees, right? And again, if you were not selected, unfortunately, you're out of choices for this year. So you need to look at other alternatives, what you can do. So talk to an attorney and all that. And we, in fact, have articles on this. You can look at our blog as well. Again, thank you for watching. Do subscribe for getting regular updates.